Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the motherfucking Heel Hook Show. We are back ahead of this weekend's return of UFC MMA. There's a few things that have been going on, which we're going to get into before we start talking about the event this weekend, which I'm totally looking forward to just because I don't have to stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning to watch it. It's going to be nice and early because it's in Poland. But yeah, so with no further ado, you already know me, Ash, that guy with the coolest wallpaper in the world. But we are kind of joined by Eddie. He's hiding. I don't know if he's got ringworm on his face
Look,
again. Or...
man, I really don't. It's Google Hangouts being a bitch right now and like turning my camera off. I don't know why this happens. Google, get at me. What the fuck? Like y'all should be able to fix this shit. All right, man.
Google,
I don't get it. Yeah, I'd have to like restart my laptop in order to get that shit working, and it's gonna take too much time. So fuck it.
I found that nice. Right. So first one that I just wanted to get into is Little Nog has been popped by USADA.
Time out. Little Nog.
Little Nog has been pulled from his fight against Gerard Canora. Yeah,
he had a fight?
Yes.
Why the fuck why are we letting these guys still fight? Have they not gotten like enough ass whoopings in their lifetime? Stop it.
You know what time it is, don't you? Rising time.
Right. Oh, hell yeah, Rising. Go, yeah. If you're going to fight, go ahead. Go juice up like a motherfucker over in Rising. Hell yeah, do that. I'm all for that. But, dude, come on, man. What did you get caught for again? Is it a steroid or what?
He's not specifically said. I've seen the article that he's been flagged by USADA for a potential violation. So he has been... Something has come awry from his samples, so...
Well, it's been real, Nog, Lil Nog. It's been real, man. It's been real. Appreciate everything you've done for the sport.
Career, I guess.
Yeah, it's been real, man. It's been thanks for doing what you did for the sport and for UFC and all that. But time to go work on your front porch or whatever else you got, dude. Like, come on, man.
Yo, my dog's just like all kinds of happy today.
That's fucking good. My dog's passed out on my couch. Like I walked in, she barely looked up at me. She was like, "Oh, it's you," and I was like, "Bitch, you better get up and say hi to me. The fuck's wrong with you?"
We just got a new couch, so he's just kind of like loving the fact that we have like a corner couch now, one of the big ass couches.
Oh yeah.
So like now he's like, "Oh, so I can join you now," and literally just like flopped on the side of me, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You go. Okay, you go ahead and do what. No, you know. All right. I thought he was going to be licking his dick. Then I thought he was going full dog mode. Yo, I'm just saying.
Look, for real though, real quick on this Little Nog story. Yeah, what do you think USADA? A lot of people are getting pissed at USADA, man. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter getting angry at USADA, like, "Oh, we're fucking sick of this shit." But I thought the fans wanted a clean sport. Yeah. I guess not all of us want a clean sport, huh? I guess some of us want to see some home runs. We want to see some baseball players juice to the fucking gills in the bar of the goddamn park when there's no business doing that shit. I guess some of us don't want a clean sport, huh? I guess some people were full of shit.
That's something said. I will pose this though, because this leads me on to the next thing that I saw. Lehman Good is suing a supplement company, claiming tainted supplements caused a positive USADA drug test. Now, shouldn't more do this? You know what I mean? Like, if there's, I know it's not their, what's the word? I know it's not down to the supplement companies to be, you know, in correlation with USADA's drugs testing. But if there's things that could be used in masking agents and this, that, and the other, and they're not disclaimed that this is something that could be, you know, something that you get, you know, flagged for by big organizations, and they're a supplement company, then are they liable? Like, I don't know the legal, you know, terminology and the legal implications, but don't you think there should be some form of disclaimer and they should have some accountability for, you know, their error in a sense, them having, what's the word? They're the ones who are putting these fighters at risk and potentially ruining their careers.
Right, but it's up to we know this. It's up to the fighters and it's up to whoever's using it to know what the fuck they're taking. So Lemon Good. Here's the thing.
Sometimes these supplement companies don't actually put in what is in their supplements. Do you know what I mean? And as well, you've got to take into account there is these certain supplement companies, pardon me, that, you know, sometimes it's just a tainted batch because they put something else in the canisters and whatnot from before.
Look, man, it's okay. Let me put it this way. And this is literally, this is for criminal laws, for lawsuits, to every kind of law you can think of. Okay, it's not about what's the truth; it's about what you can prove, right? So if he can prove that they had something in there they didn't put on their label, right, and they misled him in some way, yeah, hell yeah, he could be successful. He can get a bunch of money from these guys, right? But if he can't do that, which I would say he won't be able to, okay, if he can't prove that, he ain't got much of a case. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, I'm sure some attorney's going to jump on that case. Someone must have picked up the case because, you know, he's bringing a lawsuit. But I don't see where it's going to go, man. I really don't.
I just think though that for the ones that are getting the tainted supplements and it's genuinely like 100% tainted, it's not just the fact that, you know, it's not just a case of that they didn't read the label of these fighters. I'm talking about the actual genuinely tainted supplements. These companies need to be held accountable because at the end of the day, this is people's careers that they're talking about.
Well, right, exactly. But again, you have to prove that they put something in there that wasn't on the label. Like, you know, you go to GNC. I don't know what they have in the UK, but I hear that we have GNC and Vitamin Shop and a million other fucking supplement stores, right? And you can go in there. It's on the label is what's supposed to be in the supplement. Right? You can read it on the label. What's supposed to be in the supplement. If you can prove that there was something in that supplement that they didn't have on that label, I could see a case there. But if it's on the label, he's Fucksville. He ain't winning shit on that. You know what I mean? Because they'll be like, look, what are you, 5? Like, you know, what do we have to hold your hand while you take the supplement too? You know what I mean? We got to hold your dick while you're taking the piss test too. What's wrong with you? We're not doing that shit. You know what I mean? But you're right. If he can prove that they, you know, that they fucked up, legitimately fucked up, and it's not on the label and all sort of stuff, then yeah, they should be held accountable for fucking up.
I think that it's one of those things that you have to kind of take into account that some people, you know, some people are going to try and claim that it is the tainted supplements. Let's not get it twisted. And I 100% appreciate that. But then it's the thing of, like we've said before, you know, like the examples of, you know, if a tainted supplement 100%, you know, they've picked it up from somewhere else, they tested it and they go, yo, actually that from that certain area, there has been a dodgy batch, you know. Then the thing is though, is if you are at the smaller end of the spectrum, you're clearing your name, but is it too little too late?
I mean, it depends. Too little, too late for what, though? Exactly.
Well, right. Okay. For an example, right. My own prejudice, in a sense. Do you know what I mean? But like for me, Yoel Romero, I always go, fuck him, because I remember when he had a tainted supplement and he beat Jacare. So I always have this underlining thing where I go, well, Jacare deserves a rematch against him, regardless of the outcome of the fight, because the fight he won, he did on a tainted supplement. Did he mean to use that tainted supplement that that got proven to be, you know, a contaminated batch? It got proven. Fair play to you, whatever. But I still kind of go, well, he should have to have a rematch against Jacare, and that should be a no contest, and they should have to fight again. And then we know where we stand without this tainted supplement. Because otherwise I go, did he know though? Because if he moves on from that fight, you know Jacare wants that fight again. You know Jacare at the time would have gone, yeah, I'll fight him again. I'll fight him again. Because that was a close fight to start with. So take away the tainted supplement and then there's no asterisk next to it. But Yoel Romero didn't. And I kind of go, maybe there was some kind of underhandedness about it. And that's just my own personal thing. Do you know what I mean? And there's numerous other fighters that you could look at and go, you know, certain other fighters who have, you know, been proven to have taken something that's been a tainted supplement. But after one time, you already start looking at somebody and going, I don't know how I feel about them anymore. I don't know if I can trust them anymore. And for young fighters that are just coming up, you don't want that. You don't want that tagged to you. Like, what if you're one of these freak athletes? Like, what if you're like a Francis Ngannou, for example? Like, you just look like a monster. You look like something that's been fucking ripped out of Greek mythology. Like, you don't look real.
Right.
Bro, you look fucking ridiculous. You look like something out of a fucking Marvel film. And then if he got a tainted supplement and we go, oh, okay.
All right. So you're talking about reputation.
Yeah, because, well, it's that. And then it puts question marks over you as an athlete for a long period of time, past and present, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's not the same as somebody like Cyborg who got popped for using a steroid. It wasn't a tainted supplement. We look at her and go, and that's because of her own doing. We put that label next to her name. John Jones, the same, you know. But is it fair if somebody like, say, Francis, who it's a tainted supplement, but then people are going to put that question mark next to everything that he's done beforehand because he's new and he's been smashing folk?
And the funny thing is, that's simply saying in a different manner. They say about Nick Diaz, right? He, you know, everyone's like, because he tested positive for weed, they think his, you know, Nate's also tested positive for weed, and it just a similar type of assumption. But I get what you're saying. All right, you have to you have to clear your name, you have to repair your reputation at that point. So I mean that like you can make a case on that as well. You know what I mean? But this whole, I don't know. It's USADA to me is fascinating for the fact that it's a double. So far, it's been a double-edged sword. If you know what I'm saying, right? One, we've caught guys that we shouldn't have been, you know, fighting on all kinds of fucking Mexican supplements, but at the same time, we're losing fights that we really wanted, and then we're losing fighters that we really wanted to see. You know what I mean? Not saying Lyman Good's one of those guys, but for example, Lil Nog pulls at everyone's heartstrings. That's because a legend. I was gonna watch that fight. You know what I mean? I forgot all about it, but when it popped up, I would have watched it. But you know what I'm saying? USADA is a weird thing, and I wonder in the next, you know, decade of MMA, of UFC fights, whether or not like we're gonna believe that getting USADA involved was a good thing.
I think it's the most important thing that they've actually ever done is getting USADA in, because it's a step towards legitimacy for it being a sport. And I don't care if anybody says, fuck all you people who are complaining about people not making weight, not being able to fight, this, that, and the other. Fuck them. If they can't do it without the supplements that they shouldn't have been having in the first place, and, you know, if they can't do it without those, I don't want to say vices, but those crutches, then it is what it is at the end of the day. I think that you can't, I don't know how to put it. Like, I think it may be one of those things where, like, I understand why people get mad, but it's a shit one, because I think that at the end of the day, these guys are fighters, and you have one job to turn up on weight on a certain day and then fight. And there's a billion supplements in the world, and there's probably half of that are completely illegal that'll do the same thing. So why not just find an alternative?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a personal choice at that point. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, I'm not being funny, but like, you know, from, you know, weight cutting and stuff, like, I've never really had to deal with extreme weight cutting or anything like that. In my younger years, you know, I'd cut 5 to 10 pounds, and you know, from 14 to 20, cutting 5 to 10 pounds, I could do that in fucking 1, maybe 2 training sessions.
Yeah,
that's not a difficult thing. But at the end of the day, you know, you'd cut out a few bits and pieces. You'd stop eating certain things, stop drinking certain things, you know. And does it suck when you're having to, you know, drink certain things? Yes. Eat certain things? Yes. But you're a professional. Like, you're a pro athlete. Like, and you only have to do it so many weeks, you know, out of your training camp. You only have to do it so many weeks out of the year. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to fight every fucking month. You can fight 3 or 4 times a year, and you can have a couple of weeks off where you get to eat what you want, but then you get back into work mode. I know it sounds easy, but I'm just saying if you're a professional, you're a professional. You know, it is what it is. Like football players, American football players, NBA players, these guys I know don't necessarily have, I wouldn't say OTT diets, but I know a lot of them kind of still eat sweets and still eat a little bit of bullshit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
With soccer players at the highest level, like in the Premier League, La Liga, etc., like that in Europe, nah. Imagine Ronaldo pulling up at KFC.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay. In that case, we're talking about shortcuts. People taking shortcuts. Maybe they don't want to put in the work. Maybe they don't. I mean, like, that's why you take diuretics. That's why you do all these other things that will make a weight cut easier. Or if you want to put on muscle, you want to do it quicker, right? You take steroids. Or you want to be more aggressive in the fight. You know what I mean? So you take whatever John Jones took day of, or whatever the fuck, right? Yeah,
The thing is lack of discipline, because if you can't use a certain supplement that you've been using for ages, and you know it's on the list when you join the UFC and you can't take it under USADA, find an alternative. There is millions of legal ones on the USADA website that you can Google. Like, well, not even Google. You can go on their website, sign in, type in, there's a list of everything you can't take, and then you know everything else is good.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, you're right. Discipline issue, maybe a little bit of immaturity. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Give me an example of a guy that like fucked up badly on supplements.
Well, like, there's no major ones on supplements per se that like has fucked up over a long period of time. I know that there was that one guy who got popped like 4 times and then they got rid of him, but he wasn't a big name. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'll put it this way: they might not have fucked up a load of times, but it might be a case of they've just taken that out and not replaced it, and then they're missing weight.
Okay, yeah. You know, a lot of people would call that. They call it Johnny Hendricks.
Potentially. You could argue the case of certain other things that have caused problems as well, though. Are we going to turn around and say Jose Aldo doesn't look the same? Rafael dos Anjos doesn't look the same. I'm not saying that. This is the key thing. Maybe they didn't use, because the accusation has been said before that they used PEDs. Maybe they didn't use PEDs. Maybe they just used something that's just no longer allowed to be used, that's under USADA. Fine, but they haven't replaced it with anything that can do the same thing, because by their displays, they haven't been the same.
Right, so your body's used to this one supplement, and then it's taken out, and it's not replaced. So your body's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And it totally screws your weight cut. Yeah, look, if you're not going to replace what the hell you were using with something legal, something that's allowed on as far as under USADA or whatever organization you might be under, definitely change. You might have to change everything up. You know what I mean? You might change that whole. It's like having a train track. All right, you have a train track goes across, goes in a straight line. All of a sudden, there's a fucking something caves in halfway across. You're gonna have to either move the track completely or find a bridge or something to put in there, right? Kind of shitty example, but that's the whole point. Is that you need to replace it.
Because the thing is like, then you look at, say, like a Rafael dos Anjos that's gone up in weight,
right?
And because he hasn't had to cut as much weight, which could obviously help with his performance. That's whole different subject. But it also can be that he's not having to do such a strenuous cut without the supplement that he once had to use. That's the other thing. So I just want these guys to be healthy, man. I just want guys to come up, show up, and fight. I kind of agreed with what Mark Goddard said about we don't need more weight divisions, because that's not the answer to weight cutting problems in MMA.
Can you explain that? Because I heard it. I didn't read it because I just didn't read it.
So the basic gist of it is what he was saying is at the end of the day, right? I don't think he was saying that we don't need more weight categories in general, because it'd be better so there be less weight cutting per se. What he's saying is people will just abuse the way that they can do it. So, for example, this is the best way to put it. So, say a guy who walks around say 190. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
190. So somebody at 190 can get down to 170. Fair?
Sure.
A 190 guy couldn't get down to 155 though, could he?
It'd be incredibly difficult and highly doubt they would make it.
But they could make a 165. They could.
True.
So they could be the bit. They, you know, it might kill them to get to 170, which might turn into 175. But they could also push that a little bit harder, and they could be at 175.
I see what he's saying. So he's basically saying, look, add 8 weight classes if you want to. There's always going to be some dickhead that wants to do an extreme cut to get to that weight class. Okay, that's a good point.
So I agree with him in context. I do think there should be more weight categories because there is people who are tweeners. So there's pros. Is again a double-edged sword. One, you've got the guys who could potentially fight at a better weight class, which is better for them, healthy for them, and they could end up running in that division because they're not having to weight cut as much. But then there's also the other guys who might be, you know, that 10 pounds heavier. They might go, you know, the guys who might fight usually at 185, and they can make 170, but 170 is a little bit of a push. You know, it's hard. But then they go, but yo, if I can make 165, if I can just do 5 more pounds, I could run that division, bro. Okay.
Well, about that, I mean, what about putting consequences for missing weight? You know what I mean? Or restrictions, like the way California does it, where there's like a 10% this and then that. If you added that to those weight divisions, it would work. It'd be a fucking headache and probably cost a lot of money to do. But if your goal is to stop guys from doing insane weight cuts, it would be worth it to you.
Well, what makes me laugh is, and I know this is harsh, but it is true. People can like it whether they like it or not. We aren't losing as many fights in comparison to when they didn't have USADA. Right. We're still having the same amount of problems.
Yep.
Like there's no people make out like, oh, since USADA come on, all these fucking fights are getting pulled. No, bro, they're getting pulled because of different reasons. Fights were still getting pulled back in the day, bro. Like prior to 2013 when USADA came.
Yeah.
Prior to that, yo, there was at least 1 or 2 fights that used to get pulled from every fucking card.
They just never were really. They're usually injury though.
Yeah, but why do you get injured? Because you train too hard.
Train too hard. Right.
So, you know, or you're cutting too much and then you become ill. Like these are all the same things as when you try and do something and then you don't have a supplement that can help you.
Okay, so good point. Good point. Okay, so bottom line, do you agree with Mark?
Again, I agree and disagree. Do I think there should be more weight divisions? 100%. Mm-hmm. Do I think that more people would cut though? Yeah, I do. I don't think the more divisions is the answer to the weight cutting issue that MMA has. First off, fuck all you wrestlers who implemented that. I'm sorry, but a spade's a spade. You don't get that in other martial arts. You don't. You just don't. Like we'd cut 5 to 10 pounds. 5 to 10 pounds isn't that much, especially if you know you're not shredded already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had like a 6-pack, like, but I didn't have like a fucking Sage Northcutt 6-pack. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So like that's the kind of thing you can't go right extremes. But then this weight cutting thing, because in England we don't have that. Like we don't have that wrestling pedigree, but we also don't have that mentality. Like
I remember. Yeah, no, I remember I had friends that wrestled in middle school and high school, and they were telling me like, oh, I can't hang out this week. I got to cut weight. I'm like, to cut weight for what? It's like, oh, we have a tournament this weekend, or we have a meet or whatever the fuck they call it, a match, and I'm doing this weight class, and I'm doing this weight class, and I go, okay, so when do you weigh in? He goes, oh, right at Matt, basically. I'm like, god damn. And you're gonna cut, and I was like, "You're gonna cut that much weight? Like, what are you gonna do? Oh, just dehydrate, be all right." I'm like, "You're an idiot."
I'll ask you this question, right? Imagine in any other sport, because boxing isn't that bad for weight cutting either. Apart from like there's some obviously exceptions, because I remember Ricky Hatton. I don't know.
Oh, dude, Ricky Hatton.
He used to fight, I believe, 10 stone, and he'd get up to about 13. So he used to lose about like 40 40 pounds.
Yeah, Ricky Hatton used to be. He loves fat. He's a fat kid with cake. He loves cake. That motherfucker eats like a motherfucker.
Guinness and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But just like to point out, as an Englishman, like I don't like curries. Fuck all y'all. All y'all guys are like, oh, y'all lying about that life. Like y'all, it looks like diarrhea. Anyway, the point being is though is there would be still people who cut. I just think that it's crazy that there's no real other sports unless they're affiliated with, you know, combat sports. You know what I mean? So like, you know, and whatnot. You know, imagine in tennis. Imagine tennis if like Serena Williams, like, you know, the week before they were like, yo, you got to drop 20 pounds.
Good luck with that.
you want me to lose what? Like, it's not going to happen in every other sport. Like they cut a little bit of weight, so they're at optimum health. But they go for optimum health. They don't go, yo, if I do this, I can get to this division. Nah, what's makes you optimal? That's what it's all about. And
right.
I just worry, dude. Like I think the best way is the finding out what your walk around weight is, saying you can cut no more than 10%. Or if you pick a weight category that you say that you can make, you have to do a trial weight cut and you have to make it. You have to be within so much of your dehydration level, has to be at so much. And if you pass that, cool, but then you're stuck with that. And if you are 10% out within the week of the weight cut, and we're going to test it. And they should do it so that the week of, because you know when like people come to climatize the week before, they should have somebody who weighs them in every day. So then you don't do like a little mini weight cut like the day before the week before, so that you don't get down to that 10%, and then you go back up and then start going back down again, because then you're going to just get people doing that bullshit. And they should just test them. They should weigh them. Oh, so you're 10%, then 10%, then 10%. And you know, there's a margin. You know, there's a margin where you can go 1%, maybe a little bit. You know, 1% under, 1% more. Because you know, man, if I have like a fucking meal, I might be fucking 11%. So fuck you. So do you know what I mean? But they need to implement it.
There's also I know there's a group of people that he's spoken to on social media that have this mindset of, oh, why don't we just fucking let them be adults, man? If you want to fucking do some extreme weight cut, then fuck it, just do it. And if you don't make weight, fuck you, you're out. And I'm like, okay, it's not that simple. If you want this to be a sport and not a fucking, you know, joke, all right, you can't have people fucking dying on your scales and shit.
I'm telling you right now, them same people, there is no way on God's green earth, if Conor McGregor missed weight by 1 pound, you would say, fuck him. He's not allowed to come back.
Oh, they'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, oh, make Conor weight. Make a Conor weight division. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, bro. Like, nah, shit the fuck up.
There already is. It's called the money division. Anyway.
No, don't start that shit. Don't do that shit. No, don't start that shit. Dude, no. I refuse. No.
Come on.
Money division. Some bullshit.
Just keep on coming back, bro.
I have a double leg, homie. Let's go.
I find that a lot of people responded to my poll very passionately, which amused me highly. Because I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. For people who don't follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Ashley Lamprey. And I put a poll on there because it was basically more in towards Cyborg fans. Yeah, and I was just like, who are the most annoying fans in MMA? Is it the hardcore fans, the casual fans? Is it the Conor fans, or is it the Cyborg fans? I don't think that Cyborg has enough fans for people to actually give a shit about him. So they kind of haven't come across.
Yo, you got 451 votes, with the majority being Conor fans and the seconds are casual. You might as well put Conor and casual fans in the same category.
Yo, I hate that. Was the one thing I was going to bring up. This is why I kind of wanted to speak about it. Right? I understand that casual fans are fans of Conor, but Conor fans aren't casual fans. If that makes sense.
Okay. No.
Right.
Yes, they are.
Hear me out. No.
Okay.
Because by that same degree. So casual fans aren't ones that just turn up for when GSP comes back from back in the day. From John Jones, Ronda Rousey. Do you know what I mean? Like, are they not casual fans? That's the casual fan.
Okay, but
one bit. No, hold on. They are casual fans because they tune in for anybody who is a star and a big name. It doesn't have to be Conor, because people will tune in when Ronda Rousey came back and they were casual fans. So I'm not saying that people who are Conor fans, there isn't casual fans within that proximity, but there is Conor fans regardless. There's Conor fans that are going to watch him because the fans of him. Like, they're not going to just all of a sudden turn up because Ronda Rousey's fighting. That's the difference. There's a segregated part where literally you only turn up to watch big names or big fights. That's all you turn up for. If you're a Conor fan, you turn up because it's Conor. You don't turn up for Ronda Rousey. You don't turn up for John Jones. You don't turn up, like, that's your guy or girl.
Look, okay, would you call them more bandwagon fans than anything?
No, because, right, this is the other thing, right? Hear me out. So, if you look at Conor's fans from the outset, yeah, there's been a core fan base from the beginning. No matter what anybody says, you know, when he fought in Ireland, bro, when have you ever seen any, you know, let's be completely fair here. There is very few, and I'm going to say this, even the Brazilians, they only turn up for all of their fighters. It's not like they travel and go to another place and, you know, you hear them in, you know, in masses whenever Jose Aldo fights. Do you know what I'm saying? There's not a that cult following, that we are one, you know, there isn't that. But when you go to a certain place like that, you know, like Brazil, then they're cheering for every Brazilian, you know, ooh, I'm away, and all that kind of stuff. Right, fine.
Right.
Conor fans, even before, you know, the Jose Aldo fight, everywhere he went, thousands of Irish were going, loud and proud. He has a core audience prior to being crossed over.
Okay, yeah.
So people turn around and going, yo, there's bandwagon. Yeah, there's a lot of bandwagon fans. Totally agree with you. But there has to be a core audience of his fans prior to him being a crossover star. Because otherwise he'd have never been a crossover star.
Okay, so let me clear up exactly what I think what people mean by casual fans. Is what they're saying is all casual fans are Conor fans, but not all Conor fans are casual fans. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, my bad. I don't know why I fucking just thought about it right now. I was like still breaking it down. Okay. Now you're exactly right. You're exactly right. All right. But what people mean about casual fans is because, like, out of nowhere, everyone starts watching MMA because of Conor. And by that I mean, by that I mean this though too. And it's happened to me a million times since Conor beat Jose. Okay. People come up, they're like, "Oh, what's Conor fighting?" And I'm like, you know, this is before the Mayweather fight. Oh, he's boxing. He's against Mayweather. Oh, Mayweather does MMA now? I'm like, no, Mayweather's a boxer. Oh, that's cool. So and it's like weird. People knew who Conor was, but like they can't name another MMA fighter ever anywhere else.
And I understand that, but that same token should be put into right. Okay, hear me out then. So because Ronda Rousey isn't around anymore, is it easier to turn around and say, you know, every Conor fans, all casual fans are Conor fans because there is no Ronda Rousey no more. She's not here.
Okay.
Is it easier to say that though? Like, if she still fought consistently, we'd still have casual fans that are Ronda Rousey fans. So it wouldn't be that thing of, you know, all of them are Conor fans. But is it only because he's the only guy who brings in casuals now?
Sure, yeah, he is. But I mean, no, that's everything. We look at how many LeBron fans live in Miami now? Or how many Cleveland fans live in Miami now? A shitload. They're LeBron fans. They moved in LeBron. That's exactly this. It's the same effect, right? So I'm not, look, no one's saying that casual fans are bad. They're not bad. Casual fans are good. Why? Look, you and I are the same thing with this thing, right? The bigger MMA gets, the better, right? We agree?
Exactly.
Okay. Casual fans are a massive part of that. Okay. We can make fun of them because they're kind of dumbasses sometimes, most of the time. But
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But I mean, no, casual fans are needed. We need those motherfuckers, all right? For us hardcores to enjoy the sport even more, we need those guys to make the sport bigger and better and all this other shit. So, look, casuals are not bad. Casuals are good. We need more casuals, if anything. Are they annoying? Sure. Are they all Conor fans? A good chunk of them.
Yeah. But that's because he's the only guy left now.
Pretty much. And that's the sad part. The UFC is okay. Let's move on a little bit more to the similar or something connected, just real quick before we move on to the next topic. Is the UFC hurting for stars?
Yes and no. They're in a good place to build some new ones. There is a lot of names that they can build ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of potential in a few of the female and male athletes.
Okay.
It's just a case of it's waiting for the pop. It's waiting for the moment. It's waiting for that. It's waiting for that that Ronda Rousey 14-second armbar. It's
Right.
13-second Conor McGregor knockout. It's that that Anderson Silva with incredible knockouts. Even though he wasn't that crossover, his numbers for pay-per-view buys were actually apparently atrocious.
Yeah, they weren't great.
But there's that moment, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Where somebody they take that step above the sport because they're viral. Do you know what I mean? Like Cody Garbrandt, I personally think is the only real guy who has a chance of being a star. But do I think he's good enough in MMA to continue that? Is a thing, because there's a few guys that are around him that could beat him.
Right.
He could beat them. Don't get me wrong. But like when we break down in a couple of weeks the fucking TJ fight,
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like it probably will be. I think, in my opinion, I'd tell me what you think. But I think that would be the hardest fight that we've ever had to break down and predict what will happen.
I agree, because a lot of people compare TJ Dillashaw to Dominic Cruz, and we saw the fucking murdering that Dominic Cruz got. The difference between these two guys is TJ is a little bit of a different. He's different than Cruz. He's got a lot of the same skill sets and a lot of same attributes and stuff. But the difference, he has way less wear and tear on his body. So we'll get to it. But you're right. It's gonna be a really hard fight to break down. But real quick, stars to you, are the stars the ones that draw the most?
No, I don't think it's a case of the draw the most. I think a star to me, because I don't think we're going to see another guy who necessarily, or girl, pardon me, that does the big 1.8 draws off the bat. I think it's going to be that slow burner thing, like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and it's going to be the slow. But I don't think we're going to get anybody that's going to turn around and just all of a sudden, like, I don't think we're going to see another Conor. We're going to see another Ronda Rousey where their numbers are so high for the moment that they came in. I don't think we're going to get that again. For a period of time anyway, because I think the beautiful thing about those people that, whether you love them, hate them, whatever, what they've done is they've raised the bar, because now, instead of say 10, 15 years ago, I don't know the precise numbers, I'm free balling here, but like, say if the best numbers that you would do, we'll call it 15 years ago, the best you could do was 500 buys, incredible, GSP 500 buys, oh my god. And then it was like 100 buys was acceptable.
Right.
100 was like, fuck yeah, we got 100. That's good. That's solid. Yes. Now we go 300. You're talking 15 years later on. We're talking 300 to 400. That's okay. That's okay. Anything less, we're calling you a fucking flop. We're calling you a bum, motherfucker.
Okay. And this is where my point with stars comes from. Okay, we're gonna go. Just hear me out. It's gonna be kind of long-winded, but hear me out with this. All right, I'm gonna name off some fighters. You tell me if they're stars to you. Okay. Okay. Number one. Okay, first one, Demetrius Johnson. Star.
And he's an MMA star, not a crossover star.
Right, but just in MMA alone. This is all we're going with right now.
He's a star in MMA. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there's a two difference. This is the thing. Like,
exactly,
are they an MMA star or are they crossover star? Because Demetrius has the potential to be. So sorry.
Sure. No, it's okay. No, but I'm focusing just on MMA, because I had a discussion the other day.
MMA, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I had this discussion with somebody actually today, and it got really interesting because their version of star was way different than what I thought. Okay, and I'll preface it by this. Okay. To me, as a fan of the sport and of watching these fights, me personally, you tell me what you think here in a second, and then we'll go down the list. I couldn't give less of a fuck how many buys anybody does.
I
Okay.
agree.
To me, it's about performances, right? Right. So, for example, to me, DJ, star all fucking day. Conor McGregor, we both agree, star, right?
100%.
I could. Okay. Conor McGregor. Or, sorry, Max Holloway. What are you thinking?
Say that
star or not? Max Holloway.
Who? Max Holloway is not a star.
Not a star. Okay, why?
I feel as if for his division, there's nobody to combat off of yet. There's a few exciting fights coming up though, so I'll give him stardom when he beats some other stars, if that makes sense. Because it's like, for me, the only thing that, and like, he's deserved of being a champion. Don't get it twisted, 100%. Yeah. More than Jose Aldo, in my opinion, was when he got given the title and bumped up from interim. But like when you beat Anthony Pettis, who went down because he didn't have success at 155, and he just kind of, I don't claim him as a star yet. I think he's on the brink though.
Okay. Okay. So that's my point exactly though. Definitions is where this whole thing gets thrown out of whack. Okay. Because we don't have a solid definition of what a star is. Is a star someone that knocks people out? Is a star like you and I agree that you beat other stars, you beat other high level guys, and you're a star because of that? Or is it like a lot of people these days are doing? And I mean, this is the discussion I had today. I literally asked them. Literally went down this exact list on my phone, and I was reading to you from the pound for pound list. Max Holloway is number 3 on that list, pound for pound best. Okay, so I was reading from the top, from the top 5, and
pound for pound list is a load of bullshit anyway. So that's
right. But it was just a list I was going off of. It was just a list, right?
Because I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying though that Cyborg's in that pound for pound list, and I can name you 3 or 4 easily female athletes in the UFC already that are stars, in my opinion, more so than her when it comes to pound for pound list, and I'm on the pound for pound list. But she is a star because of what she's done over years, because she has a name and she's got a following, and but if we're purely going on what is a star in MMA, I think that you have to talk about it in the context of not right. This is the sad thing, so I'm going to kind of contradict myself. Demetrius Johnson. Every MMA purist should buy his pay-per-views.
100%.
We all want him to be claimed as the pound for pound. You know what I mean? But it's in the States, because we don't have to pay over in the UK. But you won't buy it. You won't buy his pay-per-views, and he's the purest form of a mixed martial artist you could get. Can speak, can talk shit. He, like I say, he's well-mannered though, but he can talk shit. He's an amazing athlete. He's never been popped. He's dominant. He does amazing finishes, 1-second finishes, German suplexes into armbars finishes, KOs over Olympic champions. But y'all don't want to pay for his pay-per-views. And it's the MMA purists that dictate who's a star or not, because it doesn't matter about casuals in a sense if we're talking about MMA stars. The thing is, though, is my problem is this, and I know we're not trying to go on the pay-per-view buys thing, but Frankie Edgar versus Max Holloway is a fight and a half. Brilliant fight, innit? But do you know what I mean? I look at that fight and I go, if that's the main event of a pay-per-view and the rest of that card isn't stacked, you purists are not buying that pay-per-view for Max Holloway, no matter how good you think he is. You're not. You're just not. Like, they're just not going to buy it. They're not going to buy it off of his name on that pay-per-view predominantly. And that's the shitty thing about Max Holloway. I think Demetrius Johnson, there's so many asterisks next to him, because you could place blame on him, you could place blame on the UFC. There's so many little bits that you could go, we could have done that different, this different. The good thing is for Max Holloway, he's still young, and there's a lot of room to grow into the sport.
Okay, so here's my point. Because I find that a lot of fans, even the casuals, the ones that know nothing about the history of the sport, really just jumping into this, they've all adopted this thought process that if you don't sell a lot of pay-per-views, that you're not a star. Okay,
but they make the crossover star.
Possibly, but to stay just in MMA alone, even MMA fans that I talk to, they're like, you know, so go, why are they, you know, why are they headlining this thing? It's not going to do any buys. I'm like, why the fuck do you care? It's a sick fucking fight. You know what I mean? Like, I will argue because we do podcasting and we have to talk, we pretty much have to talk about these issues with the buys and everything, and who's the biggest draw and whatnot, especially because, you know, now with the Conor era and shit. I couldn't give less of a fuck about the buys. Like, I bought DJ's pay-per-view. I bought this last one. I mean, and you know, and it's because, and there's been pay-per-views that I don't buy. For example, UFC. I can't even name. I never once paid $1 to watch GSP fight. Not $1. I just don't care. Okay. I would go to my buddy's house. I would go to a bar. Okay. If it's a fight that I'm like super into, for example, anytime you know, Nick fought, when he fought GSP, okay, I take it back. The one fight I spent money on was the Diaz GSP fight, because I was like, God damn, those are the fights where I don't want to be around a bunch of fucking assholes that are drunk. I don't want to be around people that I don't give a fuck about. I want to sit in my living room with my big ass TV, speakers fucking blasting loud as shit, and just staring at it, just watching the magic fucking happen, right? So to me, that's always been my definition. That's why I get into arguments with people that, you know, that go, oh, fucking DJ's not a star. Go fuck yourself. He's a star. Oh, well, he doesn't sell anything. I'm like, why do you care? You're not getting $1. You're not getting any of that money, motherfucker. Fuck off. Get out of here with that shit. So here's my basic point is this, is I wonder if we're ever able going to be able to come up to some kind of definition for the word star, or the word, you know, just like the word star, whether it's crossover or not. Okay.
I think you're always going to have that. You're always going to have, the main argument will always be a star is a crossover. If we're purely going in the sport, you know, it's like turning around and going, I'm trying to think of, right, okay, this is the prime example, just to go NBA on it. So Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, you know, two massive names in the NBA, yeah?
Yeah.
I could name them to people in my country right now, and I'm betting you 75%, if not more, would not have a fucking clue who they are. But, you know what I'm going to say?
Yes, sir.
If I drop the king, if I drop LeBron James's name, I'm betting at least 75% to 80% do know who he is.
Oh, absolutely. And that is that crossover appeal, right?
That's I mean, a star, isn't it? When you, if we're talking about in the sport, it's forever going to be the case, and it's a sad thing because you know, I'm not big into boxing anymore. Everybody knows, but you know, if you turn around and went Triple G, a lot of people might know who he is now. And granted, boxing isn't, you know, as wide range as people might know now. You know, people wouldn't know, though, who Lomachenko is.
Right.
No clue. I know who he is because he trained with a few MMA fighters. So that's pretty cool. So I know who he is through affiliation. But then if I said who's Anthony Joshua, even you guys in the States know who he is.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the difference now. You know, there's some people who they're just kind of under the radar, and they're great and talented at everything that they do. But the problem is, though, is they're not going to be classed as stars. They're just not, because they're trapped within the bubble of their sport. And then when it gets to the point that we actually get to them being crossover, then we can talk about them being actual stars, because you can't be considered a star until you do that. Okay.
No, I hear you. Now, as far as crossover stars, I mean, there's even a couple of names. I was Conor crossover, right? You go with this with either crossover star, potential, or no potential. Okay, those are your three choices. Okay. Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
I think she has potential.
Okay. Cody Garbrandt.
Huge potential. Huge potential.
Daniel Cormier.
No potential whatsoever.
Stipe.
No potential whatsoever.
Tyron Woodley.
I'm going to say this, and I mean this. I think he has a huge potential. And I know that you're probably, if I could see your face right now, you'd be like, what?
No, actually, I believe you. No, that's not that. Actually, I thought we were going to have to argue this point. No, I agree. I think he has massive potential.
100%. I think if he plays the cards right, and I've said this before, I go full Floyd Mayweather. I make
100%.
myself the Mayweather of MMA. I make myself a defensive clinic. You know, if I get the chance to knock somebody out, obviously I go for it. But I make people hate me. You know, this is going to sound controversial, but I'm just purely saying this because at the end of the day, if I was in his position and I had the talent and the platform for him, I'd be going full Black Power, Black Lives Matter, all that stuff. I'd be coming out with looking like the Nation of Domination from WWE. I'm being legit here. I'd play that race card every goddamn day. I'd make myself the most hated person in the UFC, but I make sure that I'm the person who's not going to get defeated in the UFC, because at that point, that's when you start getting pay-per-view buys. And I'm talking about for him, not for us. I don't give a fuck if he makes pay-per-view buys. But if I'm him, that makes me a crossover star because everybody's going to know who I am.
Everybody. See, that's what I keep saying, telling people that bitch about Tyron Woodley. I'm like, look, if I'm Tyron Woodley, I'm like, hey, I know you hate me, but I'm gonna make you pay to watch someone try and beat me. I'm gonna make you pay to see if someone has what it takes to beat me. Like, people paid to watch Floyd Mayweather lose. He just never did. He was that good. You know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather. Oh, that's the guy. I'm buying that shit. I didn't, but I'm buying that shit. Oh, Connor's gonna land the left hand. We all kind of knew it was gonna happen anyway. We were just everyone was kind of hopeful. But you know, everybody that Floyd Mayweather ever fought was, especially like guys like Canelo. When Canelo got signed up, it was like, oh shit, Canelo hits like a fucking truck. He's just to land one. Didn't land anything. Okay. It was always making people hate you so much they paid to watch you lose, and you never did, and that's where that fucking payday comes from. And if Tyron Woodley understood that or could pull that off, then I think you're right. I think he'd have a lot more money, but I think his time's starting to run out a little bit, because like even the UFC's losing their patience with him.
I agree. I think he has huge potential though. But that's I'm going to go with huge potential because that's I could model that behind that.
Okay, I was just wondering about that because it was to me, it was fascinating having this discussion I had today. With like, you know, I did the whole potential, non-potential, and all that shit with them too, and they were just like they told me like, you know, Jose Aldo has no potential, and I was like, he's kind of too late for him anyway. You know what they told me? They said Amanda Nunes had no potential. Do you agree with that?
If they get that LBG, QTA, RB, QAD, whatever.
Dude, why hasn't the UFC jumped on that? If they really give a fuck. I mean, it's almost like they don't want an Amanda Nunes as champion. They want a Ronda Rousey.
I think, but I'm going to put this on you, and I'm sorry, dude, but that's down to the Americanization.
It's true.
Of, you know, we want the girl next door, cheerleader-esque, you know, all American looking girl, and that's down to, you know, how people want to market everything. Do you know what I mean? Like that's that. You know what, right? And I'm going to throw this out there, and this is going to bug a lot of people, but this is why Vince McMahon and WWE is one of the biggest organizations of an entertainment aspect anyway, that makes money after money after money after money, because they go, right, shall we try and force down people's throats? And they do it with Roman Reigns, 100%. I get it. But he has an action hero look, so I get why they do it. Do you know what I mean? But they'll also make other people the top guys. Do you know what I mean? They're not scared to turn around and go, for the most part, sometimes they're hit and miss. But in fairness, Jesus Christ, they've been around for fucking forever. So they're going to make some hit and misses, you know what I mean? But every time, you know, right now, their champion is Jinder Mahal. Well, one of their champions is Jinder Mahal. He's Canadian. Just throwing that out.
Time out. You're talking about the guy that they brought in to take on the. He was like, what's his name? The other giant motherfucker.
Great Khali.
Okay, yeah. It was like his assistant or some shit, right? Like a long time ago.
But no. Jinder Mahal is the recent guy, but the Great Khali actually came back to help Jinder Mahal in a match against Randy Orton. But the point being is Jinder Mahal a couple of years ago got released from the WWE. Went away, trained, got jacked, come back, put in a bit of work, and now he's champion. But you know, also one little minute detail that people have not realized. They brought him back in the midst of all the chaos that's going on in your current country. You know what I mean? The kind of racial issues that some of you are having. But also, what they've done is they've done it just before they're about, or I think they've actually gone on it this week, when they've gone on tour to India. So, guess what? He's causing all you people to hate him, wanting to see him lose. He keeps on winning, and all the Indian folk are like, this is our guy, the modern day Madhaja, and all that kind of stuff. And then he goes to India, and he's celebrated like a god, like a star. Like they made you buy the pay-per-views to see him lose. And they've also made a shitload of money from the Indian market buying the pay-per-views to see the guy who represents them, and also seeing the guy who, you know, has gone over and is welcomed and celebrated as a king.
Yeah, it's
and that's what WWE does. WWE doesn't care. You know, you can be gay, you can be straight, you can be whatever the fuck you want. But you know what Vince McMahon cares about? How much money will you make me? That's all that matters.
There you go. There you go.
So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a few little bits and pieces, and then we're going to break down the a few of the fights for this weekend in UFC Poland. But I just wanted to bring up in the States, you know, obviously there's the Tough 26 going on right now. And did you see the Rachel Ostovich?
I saw it before everybody else. Yeah, I was gonna say I saw it before everyone on TV. By the way, Rachel, you fine minx, you beautiful. Goddamn. Hey man, if she was single, I mean, ring on it. Day one, I don't even give a fuck. That chick is freaking gorgeous, and she fine as hell. She can fight.
I did find it funny though that, you know, we'd already found out that she'd lost. That she'd won, sorry, in the second rear naked choke. But I did find it really humorous that Fox, their Twitter account, tweeted it, saying like she'd won by a second round rear naked choke. Didn't see that coming, did you? And then a wink face. Credit to whoever runs their Twitter account for acknowledging that the shit got leaked.
Yeah, exactly. Now it was funny because if you retweeted it, or if you saved the video or posted it as your own or whatever, like you got a huge like trademark or whatever the fuck copyright like fucking fuck up coming your way, because I know a lot of people fucking posted it and a lot of people got some trademark shit going down or some copyright shit, you know, thrown at them. So it's like,
that's insane.
Yeah, but I got a good laugh out of it.
Some people are just that way out, though, where they really want to kind of throw that out there and just kind of be that way out. Do you know what I mean? They want to kind of make the worst of it for everybody. So it's just funny to me. I just think that at the end of the day, too many people are concerned about, like, kind of being first. That's one of the things with that. The other thing I wanted to bring up, though, is obviously Cody Garbrandt's manager talking about how Cody would be able to knock out Conor and DJ in the same night.
Huh? Who's his manager?
The Ali.
Exactly. That delusional motherfucker. You gotta give him this, though. He fucking stands up for his fighters. But
100%, but he's delusional as shit.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, look, there's a lot of shady shit about that dude, by the way. A lot of shady shit. Like a ridiculous amount of shady shit from that guy. Because it's you know, if you follow, I'm gonna make it his Twitter, right? Because no one fucking gave this guy any fucking credit, and he deserves a lot more credit. At Mike Russell MMA had this big old story on Ali and his background, and it got no play from like the main media, which is fucked up. I read the story, I was just like, wow, he's got a lot of fucking research on this shit. He cited a lot of stuff, and all these motherfuckers Hawaii didn't want to talk about that shit. Luke Thomas barely fucking touched it, and I'm just like, it's fucking irritating to me. I'm coming up with journalism side, but regardless, Ali is a scumbag. Fuck him. I don't give a shit.
The other additional thing, though, that I found amusing about it all, though, is just the fact that, like, so many people want that red panty night, and it's just like, just stop. You're like, we're lucky if we're going to see Conor fight one more time. So, like, stop chasing. Like, people try to bait Conor into a fight like Cody, you know, saying that he'd knock him out in a boxing match and all that kind of stuff. None of you are getting that payday. Let's get that shit clear.
Here's the thing, too, and it's like, what are they going to do? Meet at 145?
Dude, they could fight at whatever weight division you want. But you know what? It's never going to happen. Like, the
Yeah, it's not
fight
gonna
would
happen.
never happen. Like, we were lucky if we see him fight one more time in MMA or
Okay,
boxing.
let me ask you something. Why the fuck aren't we seeing somebody try to make their own red panty night? I mean, clearly it can be done. This guy came from getting fucking, what was that? I saw some video like on Facebook the other day. It was like 1,300 pounds a year he was making. He had a shit job as a plumber. You know what I mean? Went on Cage Warriors, fucking whooped ass. Came over to the UFC, fucking whooped ass, and did it right. It's possible to make retarded money doing MMA, you know, fighting MMA. And you have a blueprint now, and all you got to do is take that blueprint, make changes to personalize it for yourself, and go forth. But nobody's doing it. Everyone just wants to take the guaranteed fucking red painting night by calling out Connor. Like it's that fucking easy to get that fight.
People just want to try and get there. But speaking of another guy with that same kind of wants to get there type thing, Khabib.
Stop it, Khabib. No. I got you, boy. Don't worry about it. I got this. I got this, Ash. Okay. Stop it, Khabib, motherfucker. All right. You can't fucking try to make your own fights like that when you can't even make it to the fight. People keep asking me like, "Oh, I just can't. I just want Khabib to sign the contract, motherfucker." Khabib could write the contract, fucking print it with a bloody fucking thumbprint as like a fucking sacrifice to fucking go over it, do a bunch of crazy shit, agree to the fight. But if he doesn't show up, it doesn't fucking matter. All right. Absolutely. I'm so sick of talking about Khabib. But I'm calling him Khabib. I'm gonna go with Joey Diaz. I'm calling him Khabib. Okay. Khabib is a motherfucker. All right. Dude, don't talk no shit. Put down the fucking cake. All right, and go train and then show up to fight, make weight, dude. That's all I want. Okay, until Khabib makes weight and gets to a fight healthy, I don't want to hear shit about it's Khabib time. It's Khabib time. It's not Khabib time. It's fucking clean up your diet and stop being a fucking dumbass in training time. That's what that is. God damn, I'm so sick of Khabib.
And the fact that he turned around and said Kevin Lee fought like a chicken.
That motherfucker. Hey, Khabib.
Like, he turned up to fight against fucking Tony Ferguson with staph infection on his chest. You couldn't put down the dessert fork, son.
Hey, Khabib, you can't even, dude. He showed up to fight. Fancy that? Hey, guess what? Khabib? He missed weight. You know what he did? Cut a little more weight. Then made weight anyway. Oh, and guess what he did that shit with? A fucking staph infection on his goddamn chest. Asshole. Okay? Cut the fucking. You fought like a chicken. Eat a dick, motherfucker. All right. Seriously, that lit me up so bad that we should be fucking. I give Kevin Lee a retarded amount of fucking credit for just showing up to the fight to begin with, for cutting weight to begin with staph infections and all of this shit. Okay. I give Kevin Lee a shitload of credit for fighting the way he had Tony in trouble for a second there. To do all that under, considering the circumstances, I can't wait to see Kevin Lee fight for the title healthy. That will be a fucking sick fight. All right. Meanwhile, Khabib's over here like eating tiramisu, talking about he fought like a chicken. Shut the fuck up. All right. He showed up. He showed up for work. How about that?
I agree. The thing is at the end of the day, Khabib's going to keep talking shit, and I just think to myself, is he going to even turn up and fight against Edson Barboza? Because apparently he's signed for, he signed the contract to fight Khabib.
Who?
Edson Barboza's fought. Edson Barboza signed a contract to fight against Khabib.
Hey, check it out, man. Check it out. I'm gonna sign a contract to fight Khabib too, but I guarantee you don't show up. I don't give a fuck about a signed contract. You know what I mean? It's all ridiculous. So here's the thing about, like, I don't mind Barboza. All right, if Barboza signed a contract, now that shit, fine, great, cool, good shit. Let's fucking watch it. All right, but Khabib, he's not gonna show up. He can't make weight. All right. And for Khabib to be demanding shit, I demand to fight. How about this? Nate and Connor fight, and then me and Tony fight, and then winners face each other. Like, dude, you can't even make it to the fight, man. You can't even make weight. All right. You either with Khabib, it's this. It's either he gets injured in training, or he can't make the weight. He can't cut the weight. It's not, it's a look. It's clearly a shit weight cut for him every time. All right, and then he gets sick and all sort of stuff. It's just this ridiculous. The balls to it just pisses me off. The balls to call Kevin Lee a chicken. The fucking balls to say Kevin Lee fought like you son of a bitch. Go. You know what? This is why I get mad about this, because I defended Khabib for fucking ever. Okay, I defended him forever. I was like, oh, he fucking gets injured. Fuck Khabib. It's AKA, man. They fucking go hard. Give him a chance. All right. But then he can't make weight in SSW because he was being a fat boy eating tiramisu and fucking embedded. And then he misses weight and he can't even show. He didn't even show up for the weight cut for the weigh-ins. Okay.
Exactly.
Like, dude, I can't defend you anymore. That's why it makes me mad. Like, I'm not a big Khabib fan, but I was like, ooh, if there's any back at that point when he was big, when he was like at the peak of his popularity just recently, right?
Yeah.
That was a fight I want to see, him against Conor. Like, damn. Like, I want to see what the hell. Like, look, I don't. After seeing the Michael Johnson fight, I'm not convinced that he would last very long with Conor. Let's be honest. Unless he shot him for a takedown immediately, and that would at least make it interesting. But that's what I wanted to see. I was like, fuck, Khabib against fucking Conor would be insane, especially if it did it in Ireland. That fucking like that in that what are they park? What's the name? Croker Park. What are they? That one. Okay. Like, imagine the fucking environment, how crazy it'd be there. Or even if you got crazy and went to Moscow and did that shit in Russia. All right. That would be
getting jacked and killed.
Right. Beside the point. Like, you know, if it did something like that, it'd be fucking crazy. But that's like that's the fight I want to see. But this motherfucker can't even make weight. He can't even make it to weigh-ins. So it's like, dude, don't fucking talk. All right, keep your mouth shut. Take the Barbosa fight. Beat him as you should. Beat him like you should. All right, and at the end, when they give you that little microphone, like, hey, you know, Joe Rogan comes up to you and goes, Khabib, that was a sensational performance. I was sucking your dick the entire fucking time on my commentary. All right. What do you feel about your performance today? And can you take me through, well, what are your thoughts? How you feeling about this fight? And then Khabib goes, hey, Conor, motherfucker, this fucking fight. That's when you fucking do your call out, you son of a bitch. When people are listening, all right? You going out calling Kevin Lee a chicken and saying that you know, demanding title shots or demanding the fight that you want or whatever the fuck you want to call it, all right? You know who's picking that up right now? Websites. You know who's reading websites? Not as many as you think. Okay? Do you think Nate Diaz went on the fucking websites and be like, I want to fight Conor, fuck that guy, whatever, and people actually heard it? No. You know when he did it? On a Fox card after he pieced up Michael Johnson, and he goes, Conor McGregor, you take everything I work for, motherfucker. I want to fight your fucking ass. On Fox, when he knew they were gonna, I don't know if he knew, but he probably figured right after he did it that they were gonna bleep the shit out of that whole thing. All right, but you know what that did? People were like, what the fuck did he say? Because he beeped the shit out of the whole thing. You know what those assholes did? They went onto YouTube. Millions of people went onto YouTube, fans anyway. Hundreds of thousands at that point, and millions overall. Probably that video has to have millions of views at this point. But went up to YouTube because they wanted to hear the whole uncensored rant. All right, Khabib, time and a place, motherfucker. Time and a place. And your time and a place is after making weight, after showing up the weigh-ins, after fighting and beating Edson Barbosa. Then you get that little microphone and then call out whoever you want. Call Jesus out if you want to. I don't give a fuck. Call whoever you want. Call whoever you want out.
You know what's the worst thing in the world? Like, and I'm not gonna happen, but the thing is, though, is it's funny that you say that because I remember when Vince McMahon called out Jesus on an episode of Raw.
When was that?
The reason why he did it is because Shawn Michaels, who he was having a rivalry.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I remember this.
He was the born-again Christian, and he turned around and he was like, you know, I'll fight you and God at the same time. Wear a white light and like, you know, mystically kind of mystic music came on, and he was like, I'll fight you right here, God. And he's like, God's too pussy to come and fight.
Well, didn't he do some stupid shit like he started dropping elbows in the light, and he's like, oh, I beat Jesus or I beat God or something like that. Was that right before they did the light versus darkness fight match between him and Undertaker?
It was well before, but it's still one of those things that it's just one of those things where Vince McMahon will go, what can I do to piss people off that'll make money? And you know, the UFC don't understand that they should use the lesbian gay community to promote Amanda Nunes. They should use the gaming community to promote Demetrius Johnson and Max Holloway even. And they should use the cosplay community to get Angela Hill over. There's just so many people you could go, we can make stars out of these people instead of, you know, putting Paige Van Zandt with her, you know, rim-licking face on fucking every poster that they can possibly imagine.
There you go.
Let's talk about this card anyway, because There's a few decent fights and a few people that I didn't even know were aware that were even on this fight. Like, I can't believe that Lena Landsberg's on this fucking card.
Why?
Really?
What do you mean you can't believe it?
Well, like, it just seems like I look at certain people fighting on this card. I was like, I wouldn't just think like Artem Lobov's on this card. I was like, oh, okay. Sam Alvey's on this card. Who else is on this card that I didn't think would be on this card? They're the main ones. The two Polish people, you know, Karolina Kowal. I can't even say her last name now. Fuck it. Karolina, she's on this card. Blakovic is on this card as well. And then obviously we know that Cowboy and Darren Till are on this card as well.
And it's a solid card-ish. I mean, it's a solid card for especially for like a Saturday morning card.
Yeah, for a European card, well, morning for you, it'll be like 8. It starts at 8 p.m. our time, just the main card, I believe.
Oh, it's about time you got a bone thrown your way. Just unfortunately, it's not a pay-per-view with Bisping on it.
Yeah, well, in fairness, you know what? No matter what anybody says, if you went to that event, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever it was, and it was one of the most extreme atmospheres I've ever been in. It was,
What?
you know,
It was it?
Yeah, literally, dude. I lost my voice in the fucking first round.
Yeah.
Like, I lost my voice. Like, it was gone. I couldn't even barely shout or anything for the second and the third, and then I could in the fourth and the fifth.
And that was the Silva fight.
No, I'm talking about the Dan Henderson fight.
Oh my bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because the Fight Pass one, the one against Anderson Silva, that actually was our time.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, because that finished.
Yeah, because that was that day. Yeah, that day I almost missed the Bisping fight. I caught I caught it, the Silva Bisping fight. I caught it because I had done an obstacle course race that day, knowing that fight's gonna be probably starting right when I get out. So I literally finished the race and fucking like fast as shit, run to my car, get in, and I drove just right home, just in time for the first round to start. I'm like, oh, made it.
That was such a good fight as well, by the way.
Yeah, he's something I don't know that Anderson Silva knocking Bisping down, and then jumping on the cage, and he turns around going, "What the fuck?" He thought that shit was over.
Yeah, but that's your own. See, the thing is like you don't stop unless the referee says stop.
Exactly.
That's just it. Whether people like it or not, they can go, "Oh, you know, he was knocked out, bro," but there was like 1 second left, so it's like, you know, if he'd have jumped on him and the ref could have stopped it, and then he could have finished him with a second to go. You know, if he'd have just stepped in and gone, right, I'm going to fucking hit him, and the ref went, no, he's out. He could have done that, and that'd have been the fight gone. But the fact is no matter what anybody wants to say, Bisping won that fight. As it is, the fight was what it was, and he won that fight. That's it.
Yeah, like I mean, I thought it was a good fight, but this week
knocking him down twice either in the first 2 rounds.
Yo, what's the fight you're looking forward to the most this Saturday?
Friday for Saturday.
Wait, is it Friday for you or is it Saturday for you?
Saturday, right? Saturday, because it's like in the day for us. So like the main card kicks off at 8 p.m. my time.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual I'm going to miss a few of the fights with being at work. I'm going to miss a few of the fights on the prelims because it starts at 4:45. So I'm going to probably miss. I'll probably get home just in time for like the Artem Lobov fight, probably.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I might just miss that, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just saw this right now. Vitor Belfort against Uriah Hall set for January 14th.
Yeah, apparently he leaked that as well. Did Vitor, because nobody confirmed that.
Vitor leaked that?
Yeah, he put it on his Instagram, and nobody fucking knew why, because like it weren't confirmed or anything.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, fuck it.
Don't you think that fighters should be the first people to announce their fights, by the way?
I think it'd be different. It'd be cool, but you're still gonna get like I think they do by quote unquote leaking certain MMA media people.
I guess.
So they still do. It's just I don't think they're allowed to by the UFC, but that'd be cool if they just tweeted it out as like a start of it, and then the UFC was able to tweet it out or whatever they did to do some kind of announcement.
I think it helps build the stars because then you tune into the stars and not just the UFC brand. So when they tweet something, it makes you actually want to go and check it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this card in the sense that there's a few good fights. There's not many names on this card. Don't get me wrong, but these European cards are usually the they're really solid cards, and we get a lot of good finishes. We get a lot of good fights out of them. People give them grief and say that, you know, that we don't have enough stars and stuff like that on these cards. And while I do agree, the fights that they put on, because everybody's hungry for a win, they turn out to be pretty fucking like boss cards, to be fair.
Okay, yeah. Look, for example, this weekend, like, even I'm not a big fan of Lobov whatsoever. I'm looking forward to the Andre Fili Artem Lobov fight. And that's not the most one I'm looking for most. I'm looking to the main event the most. But yeah, that Lobov Fili fight's gonna be good. I did not know that Fili had a 9-inch reach advantage on Artem. That's a huge deal in my opinion. Can Artem take all that damage and get inside and beat Fili? I don't think so, but it's gonna be fun to watch.
I'm gonna go with Lobov on that because I think he can get in and hit hard.
Hey, if my camera was working, you see my surprise face.
I'm just saying this at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know, your team, yeah, bro, your team caught it to the end, son.
Hey, I'm just saying this. This is all I'm putting out there. If you know, if Artem didn't get knocked out by Cub, I'm not having Fili knock him out. I'm sorry.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
That was and that was 5 rounds. Bear in mind that wasn't, you know, a 3-round fight. That's over 5 rounds. So I think Artem's got a chin. So you know, I'm not buying all that bullshit. Like I do think Fili's gonna, you know, touch him up a bit. I just think that Artem's got like the power to get in and hit him hard. So I could see that causing problems on both sides. I'm going Lobov because of that, because I don't think that he can get knocked out by Fili. Anybody can get knocked out. So, you know, obviously whatever, you know, if he does, he does. But the thing is, I just don't think he will, after that Cub fight, not be knocked out over 5 rounds when he took head kicks and all kinds of shit. So
oh, that's true. Yeah,
he should be the Russian Tank, not the Russian Hammer. I'm just throwing it out there. But yeah, I'm going Lobov. But yeah, the only problem that I have with this card is there's some fights that I just don't understand and I just don't get. So like Sam Alvey versus Ramazan. I'm like, who?
Against who? Oh, that's a new guy.
Yeah, I'm just like, eh.
Well, that's what these cards are for fights like that. But yeah, what are you thinking on Kowalkiewicz and Escobar?
This is one of those other fights that I go like, you're talking about an unranked fighter against the third.
Yeah, and Escobar, who she shows up to fight, but she constantly, well, in my opinion, she drops in big fights.
Do you think that they've done this fight so Carolina, like this is a squash match, so that Carolina can, you know, fight in Europe, make a bit of coin, keep her third space, because she's not going to move up to second with this win.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for her.
Here's the thing. I think they're doing this fight because they want to capitalize on those 10 seconds of success she had against Joanna back in Madison Square Garden, and somehow manipulate it into being just a crazy second or whatever rematch, right? I mean, Joanna said it herself. She was like, I've been beating bitches up for fucking ever now, but Carolina gets 10 seconds of success on me, and she's like, all of a sudden she's my equal. Like, that doesn't make sense. And she said that, stuff like, she said something to that effect. But I think that's the move. I think that's what UFC's trying to do. Give Carolina a fight that she should be able to win in pretty good fashion. All right, start building the name back up. That way, when they start running out of chicks to throw at Joanna, they can throw her in there in the rematch. You know what I mean? And sell those 10 seconds, right? And it'll be, you got to hear Joe Rogan in the background going, Karolina Kowalkiewicz is the only girl to be able to stand with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, all right, and hold her own. When in reality, Joanna touched her up, right?
Oh yeah, she pieced her up. She got literally Carolina hit her with one shot. That was it. That was the only.
Exactly, and she dropped, and she hurt her for a second, but Joanna recovered pretty quick.
Like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say this though with Carolina, I'm going Carolina by TKO in the second.
Me too.
I just think it's a done deal. Go
ahead.
It just sucks, that's all. Because I'd like to see Carolina fight against. It would have been nice for him to add a second name onto this. I know obviously the main event's got another name, and I know we've got another Polish fighter in Blachowicz as well above. But I'd just like to see Carolina fight against somebody with a little bit of a name.
Yeah. It's all about the she's on a 10-fight winning streak and shit like that, so.
You know what's going to happen, though, don't you? As soon as Joanna defends a title against Rose next.
Moving up to 125, yeah.
She's going to win that title, and then you know what's going to happen after that? The big money fight for Joanna. The big money fight.
Yeah, I got you. The mixed gender fight, Conor against Joanna for the ultimate title. I'm kidding. No, it's gonna be the Valentina Shevchenko fight. I know. I'm fucking her. I saw that on. I think I saw it on Reddit the other day or on
I was just thinking to myself, like, could you imagine Cody Garbrandt or Demetrius Johnson against Joanna? Yo, Demetrius against Joanna. Who is the real flyweight champion?
There you go.
No, like we said though, Amanda Shevchenko, the only woman to beat Joanna in recent history, and that was obviously in kickboxing. But still, I think that's a fight you could sell me.
Who was the guy that beat Conor? It's like the last guy to beat Conor, and we want to see it again.
Duffy.
Yeah, they were trying to sell him like that too.
Yeah, he ended up fighting Dustin Poirier though, and
yeah,
too much too soon.
Oh, for sure, that was a big
another example of too much too soon.
100%.
So the main event.
Cowboy saying that he don't know who this guy is fucked up because Darren Till can fight.
Darren Till's a motherfucking savage.
Yeah, dude. If Cowboy shows up with that whole I don't watch tape or anything like that, and he starts off slow like he always does, Darren's gonna fuck just gonna fuck him up.
I didn't like, and I'm gonna say it again, and this breaks my heart in a way, because I was always gonna pick Darren Till because he's countryman, but. Did you see the pose down that they did today?
No, I didn't.
No, when Cerrone is around people and they're being a bit confrontational with him, or they have been, or whatever, and he stands there a little bit awkward, and he kind of looks out at the crowd, and he's not really like happy or anything like that, and he's kind of like he looks a little bit like, oh yeah, okay. It looks a little bit. He's a bit not nervous because everybody's nervous when at the end of the day they're going to fight somebody. But when they look a little bit awkward. Whenever I've seen Cowboy look like that, usually ends up getting finished.
I didn't even see it. So he looked like he wasn't even like amused or he wasn't even having fun. He was just like, oh, why am I here?
It didn't. No, he looked a little bit kind of like he didn't want to be there. Not because he thought Darren Till was a walkover. He just looked like he didn't want to be there. It looked kind of like he didn't look like he was in fight mode. It didn't look, like when Cowboy looks happy, you go, yo, Cowboy looks like his game as fuck.
Yeah.
Bro. And then Cowboy's gonna turn up. Or like if Cowboy looks a little bit aggressive, he's like, okay, motherfucker, if you want to look like that, then we'll see what happens. Like he's not angry, not that Nate Diaz angry, but that one where he's just kind of like, all right, I see, motherfucker. Like, okay, if you want to be like that, we'll soon be fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good though. That's a Cowboy you want to see. But then there's two other. There's the super angry one where he ends up getting pieced up, and there's the other one where he looks like he, like when you fought, like when a friend like says some shit to another guy who's randomly in a bar, and then like you both kind of talk. The friends kind of talk both of them into the fight, and neither of them want to fight, and they both look awkward. Like I don't want to fight. Like I don't know. Like we'll fight, yeah, because I don't like you, dickhead. But I don't want to fight. That's the look he kind of give.
Yeah.
Darren Till looked at him like fresh meat.
Well, Darren Till has a lot more to gain from this fight, so he should be hungry as fuck.
And you've got to wonder how much CT fucking Cerrone can take.
Probably enough, but not. I don't know if it's affecting him now. I think maybe he's just tired. I think Cowboy Cerrone, he just constantly fights, right? And he always says, "I'm just here for the paycheck," blah blah blah, whatever. I think it's bothering him that he hasn't won a belt, that he hasn't been able to win a title fight. I think that's fucking killing him. And now he's like tired. He's like, why am I still doing this? I think he's starting to show signs of not being interested. And we'll see it this weekend. We'll see it on Saturday. If he shows up and all of a sudden he just fucking, does what the Cowboy does and he fucking whoops the shit out of Darren Till, fair enough. Maybe he just was, maybe he was just sleepy or something at that fucking, stare down, or the weight cut's getting to him, whatever. But you could see a little bit of disinterest coming from Cowboy, right?
I'm saying this. Darren Till, first round.
Damn. I was gonna go Darren Till. I was gonna go Darren Till decision.
I love Cowboy. I love Cowboy. Don't get it twisted. Love Cowboy. One of my favorite fights to watch. I don't like what I saw.
Okay. Well,
and I think Darren Till's looking at him and he's going, "This is my opportunity."
I'm watching it right now. He does not look good. He looks bored.
It just looks awkward. It looks at him like, oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he almost looks bored. He never looks bored. He's always a very confident guy. And now he's just like, fuck. And he's like,
He's not
not,
even smiling. He's not trying to,
yeah,
because if you look at Darren Till's smiling, but Cowboy's
yeah,
not. So usually when somebody's being granted they're not friendly, but when they're smiling back at him, he smiles because he's like, okay, yeah, this is gonna
yeah,
be fun, man. Like, let's fight. Like, yo,
yeah.
no,
I
Darren
think
Till is
I
gonna hit him
wonder.
with pressure in the
I
first round.
wonder.
Is
Yeah, I wonder if Cowboy something's wrong with Cowboy. He knows he's not gonna be able to perform on Saturday. You know what I mean? Maybe he's like an
maybe
injured or something. He's like, fuck, I'm so fucked. This kid's like full of ready to go, and I'm over here with one leg or one arm or whatever it is.
maybe he's just not motivated. Maybe he can't. It's different when you're fighting Robbie Lawler. You know what I mean? A name.
Yeah,
Hard when
yeah.
you're fighting a guy who's unranked.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when and then of course he went off earlier going, never heard of this guy. I've never seen any of his fights and whatever the fuck. I just signed the whatever the agreement and we're going.
Darren Till's a dangerous guy. 15-0-1.
Yeah, and I know he has like the one draw in the UFC, and he has like he's had 3 fights in the UFC now, something like that. But
Yeah.
Darren Till's a motherfucker, right? If you don't take him serious, he's gonna fuck you up. So I'm taking Darren Till by decision. I don't think he's gonna knock out. We're gonna have a crazy fight. I just think he's gonna go decision. But I don't know.
Cowboy. R.I.P. Cowboy.
Damn, damn. R.I.P. Cowboy. Look at you.
I think you
Maybe.
no, I'll say this: there's a few fighters that have come out of Europe. Well, I'm going to go with the UK just to kind of close this down. There's very few people who have come out of our country in recent years that I've looked and gone. They've got the death touch. Like they've got that thing where they see the openings and when they hit hard. Like they hit to finish. There's malice. There's venom. There's power in the shots, but there's also technique. Matt Diakese is another guy who I can't wait to see him fight again soon. But him and Till, like Marshman, could hit hard. There's been a few other guys. Paul Craig, another guy who they can hit hard.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm never looking and going, yo, they're going to smash someone. I look at Darren Till, and I think if you were going to ever pick a moment to fight Cowboy, and you saw that, I just think Cowboy's going to get pressured in the first. I think he's going to get ransacked in the first, like Robbie did in the first round. Just blitz him. But I think there's going to be no nerves because Robbie Lawler came back and in a way he knew that he had to bum rush Cowboy, but he also knew that he could get clipped because in the back of his mind he's going, Tyron Woodley. Fuck, Tyron Woodley. Right, not going to get knocked out. Right, I'm going to step back now.
Yeah.
But Darren Till's on a wave of momentum. He's looking at Cowboy like dinner. He's looking at him like, this guy's getting fucking smashed by folk. I could smash him. Confidence, high, not even contemplating a loss.
Yeah,
and I think
he's just ready to go.
He watches that footage and he sees Cowboy, again after, looking in person. I bet he's looking and going,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a big showing for what is in wrestling gonna put somebody over? Cowboy might be putting his dude over.
Cowboy. He's going over Cowboy.
There you go. Well, we'll see. We'll find out.
It's that thing.
We both agree. It's just the different endings here, but yeah.
I don't know. I just think I think people are gonna be. You know what? For the American fans, you are all good. When I believe my outcome will happen, obviously. When that happens, I think the Americans are going to be like, what the fuck did we just witness? Those moments where like everybody else outside of the States goes like, oh, this guy's really good. Or like the purists will go, yeah, this guy's good. Just core American fans who watch will just be kind of like, and that's what we're going to see.
There you go.
So that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, we'll get into this another time, but how fun has the NBA been? Like the opening couple of days.
So far, so fucking good. I mean, except for my Suns who fucking lost by 48 points in the fucking season opener at home. How the motherfuckers? Here's the thing about Phoenix. The one thing you will never, ever, probably ever, ever in the history of ever associate with Phoenix Suns is the word defense.
You know, I'm just saying this. It seems a bit bad for people with injuries. Have you seen that Lynn's out?
Yeah, for a year. He's out for the year with a torn ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's out for the year. Gordon Hayward's probably out for the year. What else is there? Excuse me. So far that's it, right? For injury? No, yeah, Draymond Green had to walk out.
Yeah, Draymond Green, he obviously got taken off as a precautionary.
He'll be fine.
Joel Embiid, he obviously is restricted minutes, so he's okay. But you know, he played more minutes than they said they was going to play, though. To be fair,
yeah, Joel Embiid, I think is overrated.
I think he's good for a center. I think he's very good for a center.
Yeah, but he's not good enough. He hasn't proven he can stay healthy enough. He's not good enough to earn that paycheck he just got, in my opinion.
True, but they can't let him go on a free.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem, because if he goes somewhere else, and you know, say imagine if he'd have signed with Golden State.
Oh God, I already hate that fucking team. If he signed with Golden State.
If he'd have signed with Golden State, game over, bro. Like he doesn't even. He could have played 82 games and barely touched the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, ask any center that plays for the fucking Warriors. They know what that's like. So
Embiid would have been fucking sorted, man. Yeah. But that's the thing. If that had been the final piece, and he just said, "Right, I'll just take a small paycheck. You know, I'll prove myself over a year. We'll do a year, and then the next year you give me the bump."
Yeah, you pay me, motherfucker. Yeah.
All right. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end that right here. We'll get into some other stuff at a later time. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Make sure that you leave a like on this. Leave us a comment. Tell us how much that you hate me and love Eddie and
goddamn right
wallpaper. Fuck you, motherfucker. And yeah, additional to that, guys, make sure that you subscribe if you're new. You can find this on iTunes and on SoundCloud tomorrow. It's just The Heel Hook. Also, you can find us on The Heel Hook Show on Twitter. You can find me at Ashley Lamprey on Twitter, and you can find me at Just As Official on Snapchat. So yeah, also a shout out to our sponsors as well. Receptra. I've been suffering with a bit of a bad back recently. I've been trying to work out a little bit more, and it's just a fucking godsend. CBD oil, topicals, body rubs, all that beautiful stuff with CBD oils. And if you're an athlete as well, and you know, even if you're not trying to get to the UFC, but the thing is, though, is you can use CBD oils to heal your body and whatnot. And it's also CBD has been taken off of the ban list, so that's great news, because obviously these athletes can use something that's pure. They don't have to use painkillers and whatnot. It's 100% legal in Europe and in the United States. There's like 0.01% THC, so you don't have to worry about getting high or any of that bullshit. Don't believe the hype. But make sure you check out Receptra Naturals if you're in the States, and check out ReceptraGlobals.com if you are in Europe, and use the code with the heel hook, 10% off your entire order. Also check out Bain, bainstore.com. That's BAIN store.com. Jiu-Jitsu. You know, we're seeing Tony Ferguson. He just got his black belt. You know, he
got Eddie Bravo's black belt, not just any black belt.
No. I was just about to throw the 10th planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there you go. But like I say, you can get your gis, your spats. You can get your rash guards, tees, tank tops, and whatnot. I just found out as well that Lils, who does our videos and whatnot, she was trained today, and she's just started learning all the kind of like basic things like you know, guard, reaping as well, which I thought that was crazy that she's knowing.
Yeah, early. Yeah. You know what's funny? White belts aren't even allowed to do that in fucking white belts or purple belts or blue belts. I mean, aren't allowed to do that in competition.
Exactly. So I found that really kind of crazy, but you know, it's cool that she's learning and whatnot. And you know, they're big into like the competition side of jiu-jitsu as well. I know that they send out a lot of stuff and work with a lot of guys and whatnot that do regionals and whatnot. So it's kind of cool that they work with the community of jiu-jitsu. They're not just like a brand that, you know, people come to them. They want to be a part of the community and build a family. So make sure that you check out bainstore.com. Get 10% off all your rash guards, spats, hoodies, artwork as well. Yeah, and use the code word the heel hook. Get 10% off, bitches. So where can I find you, Eddie?
All right, find me on Twitter at Ela31, of course, on Instagram at Ela7, and on Snapchat, Ela52. And all the podcasts are on crossroadsmma.com. Yeah, So make sure you hit up. We're also on iTunes at Crossings MMA Radio. And tomorrow, the return of the world famous, the Undisclosed Occasion Invasion podcast, the ULI. For those that have been like listening to me for years, that you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's just I stopped doing it in 2015, and I'm bringing it back just because there's a lot of times I want to talk about shit that does not fit the MMA platform that I can't or I won't do on Keyboard Warriors. That I want to talk about just anything and everything. We're gonna be talking about everything tomorrow. It's tomorrow, same time as this show. I believe Ashley's still down to do that, right?
100%, bro. I'm down like 4 flat tires.
There you go. The world famous Ashley Lamprey going to be joining me tomorrow on the ULI. Make sure you guys tune in. I'll be tweeting that out. Follow me on ELAW31, and I'll be tweeting out that link right as the all day, but definitely right before showtime.
No worries. So on that note, from me and Eddie, peace out. 8 time down. We out.